Sutherland Springs church shooting slideshow by photo services. The gunman who killed at least 26 people in a church south of San Antonio was kicked out of the Air Force after cutting a plea deal in which he admitted to fracturing his stepson's skull, the former head of Air Force prosecutors said Monday. Devin Patrick Kelley faced at least 5 years in a military prison for attacking the baby and also his wife. The former top Air Force prosecutor, retired Col. Don Christensen, said. An Air Force jury handed him a 12-month sentence in 2012. He said he entered pleas of guilty to fracturing his son's skull, his stepson's skull, and to assaulting his wife. And as a result of that, there really is no question about his guilt. Christensen said he should not have been able to get a gun after Kelley's discharge from the service. There is no way this man should have legally owned a gun based upon what he was convicted of. A traffic management apprentice after entering the Air Force nearly 8 years ago. Kelley bought 4 guns from 2014 to 2017. 2 were purchased in Colorado, while 2 others were purchased in Texas. According to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, no one has yet to explain how that happened. Kelley entered First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs on Sunday wearing a body armor and military-style clothing, and gunned down the worshippers, making the mass shooting the worst in the state's history. Dozens more were wounded. He approached the church with an assault rifle, shooting at the building from outside before entering and continuing the gunfire. Witnesses said a neighbor grabbed his rifle and shot at Kelley, who drove off toward Guadalupe County, crashed his vehicle and shot himself. Authorities said Kelley had at least 3 weapons with him. Authorities recovered a Ruger R556 rifle at the church. They also found a Glock 9mm and a Ruger .22 caliber handgun from the Ford Explorer he had been driving, said Fred Milanovsky, a special agent in charge of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives field office in Houston. An aerial photo showing the site of a mass shooting at the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs, Texas, U.S., November 6, 2017. Kelley did not have a license to carry a concealed handgun but did have a non-commissioned, unarmed private security license similar to a security guard at a concert-type situation, said Freeman Martin of the Texas Department of Public Safety. Christensen said Kelley's conviction was automatically appealed because he received a bad conduct discharge in addition to the 12-month sentence. A record obtained by the Express News on Monday shows that the Air Force Court of Criminal Appeals affirmed his conviction. A higher court rejected Kelley's request to overturn that ruling. Details of the case were not immediately available from the Air Force, but Christensen said the potential 5-year prison sentence for badly injuring the child should have precluded Kelley from legally obtaining a firearm. The Lautenberg Amendment to the Gun Control Act of 1968 makes it a felony for those convicted of misdemeanor crimes of domestic violence to ship, transport, possess, or receive firearms or ammunition. The amendment, which took effect Sept. 30, 1996, also made it a felony to transfer a firearm or ammunition to an individual known or reasonably believed to have a domestic violence conviction. According to the Army, Christensen said there were 2 legal reasons why he should not have had a firearm: his conviction of an offense punishable by more than a year in confinement, and the Lautenberg Amendment, because he was convicted of 2 domestic violence offenses. Kelley should not have been able to have a gun. Without a doubt, the system failed. Your question to be discovered is, why did it fail? Who failed? Said Christensen, the director of the group called Protect Our Defenders that advocates for assault and sexual assault victims. Did the military fail in their reporting obligations? Was it a failure that we use archaic language in the military to describe our process that didn't translate well into the civilian system? And was it a failure that civilians had the right information and still allowed him to do it? So I don't know where the failure happened, but without a doubt there was a failure. SIGC hit Express-News.net